One of the extraordinary blessings we have here as members of this community is that we receive people from all over the world. How many of you have seated here this morning came to St. Mary's from somewhere else? See what I mean? Well, welcome again to all of you. And one of the exciting things about it is some of us never get to escape, leave. Others of us find the bungee cord of God on us and we get drugged back into this community like Mike and Stephanie, who've rejoined us here recently. But along the way, we get to meet and engage and befriend some of the most extraordinary people in the kingdom of God. And I get to travel a lot and visit in a lot of situations where we get to build relationships. And it is my delight this morning to have us greeted by a man I have come to truly admire, respect, and care for. Dr. Robert Heron is presently the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at Regents University. Now, we have got a number of our young people attending Regents, so it's quite possible that their paths are going to cross. But I invited Bob to come be with us this weekend, primarily to meet with Pastor Pedro and to let them engage one another, because Bob is interested in traveling into that nation with us. So I asked him while he was here if he would come and give a word of greeting to us. Bob?
Good morning. A standing ovation, and I've done nothing. Thank you. What a warm welcome. It was about 7 years ago that Dr. Clark and I met one another when we were in a class together at the Assemblies of God Theological Seminary. At the end of the class, he presumed to take the initiative, along with the other students in the class, to pray for me. And it was a very meaningful prayer, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was about to enter one of the darkest chapters of my life. I lost a job in a spectacular way. If you've ever been unemployed, and especially if you've lost a job in a spectacular way, it can bring you to a dark place in your life. At his invitation, a year later, my wife and I came to join you and worship here at our Father's house. Afterwards, he and his wife and his staff took us out to eat, and then after the lunch, they prayed for us and they prophesied. Now, we were in the middle of that dark night at that time, and the prophecy was that the Lord would restore us completely. The Lord has restored us completely. So your worship community has been a great deal to me and my wife. You spoke into our lives at a very meaningful point, and Pastor, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and it's an honor to be with you this morning.
Thank you. What he doesn't know is he's going to be prophesied over again this morning before he leaves. We've already set that up. Keith, can I have a little help up here, please, son? This morning, we have decided that what we'd like to do is interview Pedro. And we're going to give him some leading questions so that you begin to get a first-hand glimpse. Would you have this moved out of the way, son? You get a first-hand report on what's taking place with our involvement in their ministry in Cuba. So if you would, welcome our interpreter, Alexia, and our dear friend, Pedro Molino. Please, sir. For you and for you.
I'm good. Don't start with me.
Pedro, we're delighted to have you with us again.
Pedro, estamos contentos por tenerlo con usted hoy.
Please repeat that in Spanish.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me first say this. Remember, the translation is conversational. It may not be word for word, but I will get the idea out. So in Spanish, I just greeted him.
Yes, and they're going, we can't hear you. So please repeat it so they can't understand it.
You wanna not understand me in Spanish? Chin. Do you really want me to talk to them in Spanish?
No, honey, I'm
Okay,
teasing
thank
you. Greet the people.
Saluda a la persona.
Yeah, I have no control over what's taking place on the sliding bars.
Les saludo en esta mañana.
This morning I bring you greetings.
Me siento satisfecho de estar una vez más en este precioso lugar
I feel very satisfied in being once again in this precious place
y ver rostros tan rosados.
and see such bright faces.
Es una bendición.
It's a blessing.
Me siento más que gozoso por esto.
And I feel more than joyful over my visit.
Oh, good.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. I'm going to let Alexia take the lead and chime in as I feel appropriate because she has the questions, you have the answers.
Él va a pedir que yo pueda meterme en la conversación como tú tienes las preguntas y yo las tengo igual. So, would you like me to lead with one of our first
That
questions?
would be a good thing,
Thank
yes.
you.
Let's ask the question.
Let's do that. I have to read them in English first, okay. In English first, in what specific ways has our support of your ministry improved your spiritual growth? La primera pregunta es, ¿en qué forma específica nuestro apoyo a su ministerio ha ayudado tu crecimiento espiritual?
Puedo decir con toda libertad en esta mañana
I can say with all liberty this morning
que el apoyo que he recibido ha sido en gran manera beneficioso para mi vida espiritual.
the support that I have received has been in a great manner of great support to my life.
Nosotros vivimos en un país que es una isla
We live in a country that's an island,
y también a veces sentimos que estamos aislados por circunstancias que nos rodean.
and for many circumstances we also feel very isolated.
Circunstancias externas que no tienen que ver con nuestra vida espiritual,
External circumstances that have nothing to do with our spiritual lives,
pero de alguna manera sí afectan nuestra vida espiritual y nuestro crecimiento.
but these things do affect our spiritual life and our spiritual growth.
Estábamos orando hace muchos años por encontrar personas que de alguna manera pusieran sus ojos en nosotros.
For many years we've been praying for people, for the Lord to bring people that would in some way put their eyes upon us.
Yo particularmente nací en un hogar cristiano
I was particularly raised in a Christian household,
y pasé varias etapas de mi vida difíciles.
and I have had many stages in my life that have been very difficult.
Y entonces de alguna manera uno siente que es huérfano desde el punto de vista espiritual.
And I felt that I was an orphan, when you're talking about spiritual orphan.
Aunque siempre confiamos en el Señor,
Even though we always trust in the Lord,
a través de la Biblia, a través de la historia, siempre hemos necesitado de personas que nos apoyen.
according to the Bible and in history, we've always need some type of support.
Porque Dios ha equipado a ministerios y a personas y a la iglesia para ayudar a otros.
Because the Lord has equipped ministries and churches to be able to help others.
Y aunque aparentemente por casualidad llegó Lani a mi vida,
And it may appear that it was just a coincidence that Lanny came to my life.
nosotros sabemos que no existen las casualidades,
We know that coincidences don't exist.
sino que es la causa de Cristo a favor de nuestras vidas.
But what we know is that it's the cause of Christ in favor for our lives.
Entonces llegó un hombre bien parecido a pesar de su edad.
So we received this very good-looking man, even at his age.
Y me impactó, me impresionó.
And he's been very impactful to me and impressed upon me. I was impressed by him.
En primer lugar, su inteligencia
First of all, his intelligence
y también su sencillez
and his sincerity
y su deseo de servir a otros.
and his desire to serve others.
Porque a veces han llegado personas a nosotros, a nuestras vidas,
Because there have been times where people have come into our lives
que vienen con un discurso muy bonito,
and they come with a very nice talk,
pero no viven ese discurso.
but they don't walk their talk.
pero encontré un hombre que habla y vive el discurso.
but I found a man that walks his talk.
Y no solamente a un hombre.
Not just a man.
Cuando llego a los Estados Unidos,
When I came to the United States,
me encuentro con una iglesia receptiva
I find myself with a church that is
Que-
receptive likewise,
que desea ayudar a este hombre y a su iglesia.
that desires to help this man of God and this church.
Porque a pesar de que trabajamos duro,
Because even though we work hard,
es necesario la ayuda.
we need help.
Y por lo tanto, en este sentido,
And in this sense,
hemos sido bendecidos espiritualmente.
we have been blessed spiritually.
Nuestra autoestima ha crecido
Our self-esteem has grown,
y nuestra vida espiritual ha mejorado.
and our spiritual life has improved.
He sido afectado
I've been affected
por la visión de mi hermano,
by the vision of Lanny,
por su paternidad,
for his fatherhood spirit,
y también yo he podido afectar a mi congregación,
and I've been able to affect my congregation,
la cual está creciendo
which is growing,
a partir de todos estos logros,
even with all of the issues,
a partir del mensaje de mi hermano Lanny.
because of the message that Lanny has brought to us.
A pesar de las circunstancias que nos siguen rodeando,
Even though we have circumstances that we can't help that surround us,
a pesar de la incertidumbre, a pesar de la duda, de las dudas
even with the doubts that we live,
que proporciona todo lo que nos rodea,
these things are proportioned to all these things that surround us in our lives.
nos sentimos
We feel
estimulados
stimulated,
y ha crecido en la esperanza.
and we have had, our hope has grown.
Y por eso ahora yo ando con esta Biblia.
And this is why now I have this Bible,
Dice la Biblia de la predicación,
and it's called the Bible of Preaching,
Esperanza para Cuba.
Hope for Cuba.
Queremos en la esperanza.
And we believe in hope.
Y creemos que hombres como Lanny,
And we believe that men like Lanny,
Dios ha levantado en este tiempo
the Lord is the one that's lifted him up during this time
a favor de nuestra nación,
in favor of our nation,
a favor de nuestra vida espiritual.
in favor of our spiritual
La
life.
iglesia cubana está creciendo.
The Cuban church is growing.
La iglesia cubana se está empoderando.
The Cuban church is being empowered.
Nadie puede venir en contra de esta realidad.
Nothing can come against that reality.
Pero ha sido necesario,
But it has been necessary,
como el apóstol Pablo ayudó a empoderar a los griegos
like Paul helped to empower the Greek
con un evangelio diferente,
with a
con el
different
evangelio de la verdad,
with the gospel of truth,
porque habían buenas noticias,
because there were always good news,
pero la verdadera buena noticia es la que llevó el
but the
apóstol
real
Pablo a los
good news
griegos.
is Paul's message to the Greek.
Ahora Lanny llegó con la buena noticia
And Lanny has come to us with the good news.
y llegó con una palabra igual pero diferente
And he came with a very familiar word to what is in my heart, but different,
a favor de nuestras vidas.
in favor of our lives.
En el pasado
In the past,
yo pastoreaba
I used to pastor
como un dirigente,
like a general,
pero ahora
but now
pastoreo
I pastor
como un padre.
like a father. The next question is, in what specific way has our support of your ministry improved the spiritual growth of your pastors? ¿En qué forma específica nuestro apoyo a tu ministerio ha ayudado el crecimiento espiritual de tus pastores?
El impacto que recibí personalmente
The impact that I have received personally,
no lo puedo esconder,
I cannot hide it,
porque mis padres me enseñaron
because my parents taught me
a vivir con dignidad
to live with dignity
y con sinceridad.
and with sincerity.
Recuerden que mis padres eran pastores,
Remember, my parents were pastors.
vivieron los tiempos más difíciles,
They lived during the most difficult times of our country,
pero fueron fieles a aquel que nos envió
but they were faithful to He who sent them,
y me enseñaron
and they taught me
que bajo cualquier circunstancia
that under any circumstance,
era necesario
it was necessary
expresar lo que sentimos.
to express what we feel.
Al ser impactado
while I was impacted
por la visión de mi pastor Lani,
by the vision of my pastor Lanny,
de mi padre,
of my father Lanny,
ahora comienzo a impactar a otros.
now I am impacting others.
A veces sin darme cuenta,
Sometimes I don't even realize it
porque antes daba la mano bien estirada,
because I used to give my hand out, stretched out,
porque el ministro del Evangelio no puede estrujar su ropa,
because those that minister the gospel can't wrinkle their clothing,
porque el ministro del Evangelio tiene que tener una distancia
because the minister of the gospel has to have a distance
para que no me vayan a malinterpretar.
so you don't misunderstand me.
Pero comencé a hacer ahora las cosas de manera diferente.
But I saw myself doing things differently.
Ahora yo abrazo a los pastores que están bajo mi
Now
supervisión.
I hug the pastors that are under my supervision.
Entonces ellos comenzaron a notar
And they started noticing
que ya no estaba el pastor presidente dirigente.
that it wasn't no longer the president general pastor that they had.
Ahora comenzaron a notar que hay un pastor que preside, pero que les ama,
Now they now understand that there's a pastor that pastors them but that loves them,
que les abraza,
that hugs them,
que tiene en cuenta su necesidad por muy pequeña que sea.
that understands their needs no matter how small those needs might be.
Este impacto en mí ha servido para impactar a los pastores que están a nuestro alrededor.
So as I've been impacted, it has served to impact those pastors that surround me.
Son 32 congregaciones que están bajo mi dirección,
There are 32 congregations that are under my direction,
por decirlo de alguna manera,
to try to explain it the best possible,
porque ellos gozan de autonomía.
because they're all autonomous,
Pero vienen a donde estoy yo.
but they come to me.
En Cuba hay una cultura.
In Cuba, there's a certain
Yo a veces
culture.
digo, ustedes son autónomos, ustedes son libres, solamente cualquier ayuda que pueda darle.
I tell my pastors, you guys are free to run your ministries as you'd like. You're autonomous. I'll just give you counsel.
Pero ellos no entienden muy
But
bien eso.
they don't understand that very well.
Cualquier circunstancia me llaman porque tienen la visión de que necesitan tener una persona que les indique,
They've not been allowed to think freely on their own, so they don't.
pidiendo la posibilidad de afiliarse a nuestra visión.
And there are many that are watching to see if there's a possibility of affiliating with our vision.
El Señor en este tiempo que estoy viviendo después de haber conocido a Lani,
During this time since I have met Lanny, what the Lord has been doing
me ha sorprendido.
has surprised me.
Muchas sorpresas,
Many surprises,
mucha bendición.
many blessings.
Mi familia estamos más unidos.
My family is more united.
Mi hijo mayor que estaba lejos del Evangelio ha regresado.
My older son that had departed from the things of God has come back to God.
Yo me siento muy gozoso.
I'm very joyful.
Yo estoy muy contento.
I'm very happy.
Yo este viaje lo hice muy calmado.
This particular trip, I was very calm over all the preparations.
En el pasado venía muy nervioso en los aviones.
In the past, I was very nervous while on the plane.
Este viaje hubo turbulencia y no sentí temor.
This time there was turbulence and I had no fear.
Sentía que el Señor venía conmigo.
I felt that the Lord was with me.
En el aeropuerto de La Habana hubo demora para encontrar mi nombre.
In the airport in Havana, there was some time that was spent looking for my name in the list.
En el pasado pensaba, seguramente me miran hacia atrás.
And in the past, I thought, oh no, there's a problem. They're going to send me back.
Ahora dije, no, eso es que ella no ve bien, pero eso lo voy a encontrar
Now it's
pronto.
like they just don't see my name on the list. It's there. It's to my life.
Ha dado estabilidad a mi ministerio.
And it's given me ability to run the ministry.
Parece poca cosa
It may
el haber
seem like
cambiado
a small thing
el haber cambiado de jefe a padre,
to change from a general or boss mentality to a father,
pero es profundo.
but it's deep.
Trae consecuencias
It
muy
brings
buenas
good consequences.
y yo la estoy disfrutando.
And I'm enjoying
Y los
those.
pastores que están a mi alrededor,
And the pastors that are around me,
evangelistas que están conmigo,
evangelists that are with me,
maestros que están conmigo,
teachers that are with me,
hombres de Dios que trabajan juntamente conmigo,
men of God that work alongside me,
también se sienten satisfechos.
they also feel satisfied.
Antes, por nada, yo llevaba alguna cosa con un pastor, decía, ese es su problema.
Before, I would see a pastor with an issue and I'd say, that's your problem.
Y un pastor me dijo, necesito me traigas un cinto.
And one of the pastors asked me, can you please bring me a belt when you return?
Porque en Cuba existe escasez.
Because there's such scarcity in Cuba.
Y él es un poco gordo
And he's a little heavy,
y no encuentra cinto.
chupa that'll fit him.
Y yo le dije, con mucho gusto, hermano.
And I said, I would love to bring
Y
you a
desde que llegué
belt.
aquí pienso mucho en su cinto.
And since I got here, I keep thinking about his belt.
Cosa que para mí no era posible.
Things that for me normally wouldn't have been
Ahora es
possible.
importante.
Now that's important to me.
Me importa la necesidad de los que están conmigo.
It is the need of those that are with me is very important.
Creo que Dios ha obrado de manera especial en mi vida.
I believe that the Lord has worked very strongly in my life.
Y le agradezco al Señor por esto.
And I'm grateful to the Lord for this.
Y le agradezco a Lani en gran
And I'm
manera.
grateful to Lanny.
Yo le amo en gran manera.
I love him in a great way.
As it happens, I just ordered a couple of belts that have to be trimmed down to be worn. And so they'll probably fit an elephant. He can have both of those.
Dice que de casualidad él tiene unos cintos que era mandado a poner más cortos y le servían elefante, así que seguro que le va a servir a Mariano.
Gracias, gracias.
Thank you. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Es lo único que sé decir en inglés.
The only thing I know how to say in English.
Very good.
So, Pedro, how was my preaching? Very good.
Dice, entonces, Pedro, ¿cómo fue mi predicación? Very good. Okay. The next question that we had here was, up to now, what would you say has been our biggest impact upon your ministry? Hasta ahora, ¿cuál tú dices sería el impacto más grande sobre tu ministerio?
El pastor Lani y ustedes como congregación
Pastor Lanny and all of you as a congregation
han afectado mi vida en todas las áreas.
have affected my life in every area.
Y aunque dije hace un rato que trabajamos duro
And although I said a little while ago that we work very hard
para poder lograr ir adelante en medio de estos tiempos difíciles,
to be able to get ahead in these difficult times,
donde confluimos con tantas cosas que son nuevas,
where we're dealing with so many things that are new to us,
porque Cuba está en medio también de transformaciones
because Cuba's in the midst of transformation now.
y afortunadamente hay una apertura para el cristianismo
And fortunately, there is an opening for Christianity,
que también ha afectado a otras religiones,
which has also affected opening other religions.
pero la iglesia ha sido el motor para esta transformación.
But the church has been the engine for this type of transformation.
He tenido la oportunidad de ser elegido como un líder para la ciudad.
I have had the opportunity to be elected as a leader for the city of Havana.
La Habana es la capital de nuestra nación.
Havana is the capital of our nation,
Por cierto, es muy difícil el tratar con tantas,
and it's very different
Personas.
to try to deal with so many different people,
confluir con tantos criterios.
to be able to flow so well with so many people, different criterias.
Pero ha sido una gran bendición.
But it's been a blessing.
Y en este sentido, esta congregación ha sido de impacto a favor de mi vida.
And in that sense, this congregation has been of great impact to my life.
A partir del crecimiento de mi iglesia,
Also, in the manner that my church has grown,
la ayuda recibida ha sido de gran bendición.
the help that we have received has been a great blessing.
Nosotros somos cristianos evangélicos,
We are evangelical Christians,
por decirlo de esta manera, ¿no?
I could say it this way,
Cristianos de las buenas nuevas.
Christians of the good news.
Pero Cuba mayoritariamente es católica, romana.
But most of Cuba is Roman Catholic.
Y estamos cruzados, aunque no queramos, por esa cultura.
And we are affected by that culture in some given way.
Entonces, para el católico romano,
For the Roman Catholic,
el templo es importante.
the temple, the church is important.
Y para la iglesia en general, el templo es importante.
And generally speaking, the temple is important.
Por ejemplo, conozco un pastor que solamente congregaba a 70 personas.
So, for example, I know a pastor that had 70